Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about Halls of Power Part 2 and the game update 47 that's now on the test server. It's been on there for a few days now and there's been some changes already, so if you're watching this and it's bit of time between it, then things might have changed since then, but as of right now these are the things that are on there. You've got the Halls of Power Part 2 content, which has got a new solo area, which you can access from here, where you normally go to get anything to do with the Halls of Power Part 1. It should be here, like a little teleporter that takes you to Celestial City, and there's new solo missions to do there, and a new 8-player bounty. Um, then you've got two new duos, a new alert, a new 8-player op, a new 8-player raid as well, and obviously there's all the other kind of things that come with them, like collections and feats and all that sort of thing. And the minimum combat rating that you'll need is 111. So that's what you'll need to get into this content. Everything's got like a minimum combat rating and a suggested combat rating now. So, for instance, the duos, um, one of them's got a minimum of 111, the other one, and suggested 121. The other one's 111 and suggested 117. So they've another thing that they're doing, so I'm going to talk about game update 47 stuff now, is that they're changing the way content scales and stuff like that. There was a big change that they did already, because the original one was sort of like, if you went into, say for instance, like a tier 1 piece of content, and you was in like tier 6 armor, you would be low, like your stats and everything, and the way enemies would be hitting you would be a lot harder. And there was people who were saying that they were getting hit and finding it harder than people that were the appropriate tier, for like in the appropriate stuff for that tier. So they've done some changes since then. It's a little bit more like what it is on the live server now, which is that if you are about 2 tiers above content, so like for instance, like the tier 2 raids, the Batcave ones, you should be able to solo those if you're 2 tiers above. It just says for average players, and most players should be able to do this. So not everyone will be able to do it, because it's probably still going to take a little bit of skill and that. You still kind of need to know what you're doing. But that's what they're saying, is that if you're about 2 tiers above, you should be able to solo. And that's what kind of happens on the live server right now, is, people are normally about 2, sometimes 3 or 4 tiers above, and then they can solo. It all just depends. But sometimes you can do it with, if you're 1 tier above. So that they're doing it like that, so that it's about 2 tiers, and so that they changed the way the combat rate raises with the items that you have. So instead of being able to get your combat rating up with the mods that you can stick in them, your combat is only affected by the items that you have, that you can wear, not the pieces like mods and stuff that you can stick in those to raise them normally. So mods won't be having that effect on your armor anymore. It will just be, they'll only be used to raise your stats, and that's it. You can't put them in there to skip content and gear any the tier levels anymore. It will just be just for extra stats only, and that's it. So they've changed the combined rating of all of your pieces now, so that it should kind of level out. So you shouldn't, if you're like me, 111 now, hopefully I shouldn't lose too much, or if I do, I lose like one combat rating or something like that. Because I have got a few expert mods in a few of the items and stuff, but pretty much all of the items now are from the latest content. So hopefully by the time that comes out, I have have more of it anyway. Just haven't been playing much. But yeah, so basically that's it. Yeah, you just have to get the items either from vendors or the drops and stuff, and that will be how you raise your combat rating. Nothing to do with mods whatsoever. So that's that. Another change is the marks. Instead of having all these different types of marks now, um, instead of having all these symbols and marks of fury, marks of triumph, they're all changing, so they're all going to be one mark, and it's mark of victory. And you can earn those within your combat rating, like within sort of the tier that you're in, pretty much. When tier 7 starts, like the Halls of Power, it will be all of that, and the some of, I think most of the tier 6 content as well. But going forward from that, when we start getting the monthly content after Halls of Power Part 2, there'll be like a gap, as there normally is, like of about 3 months, and then normally we would get another big load of content. It'll be every month we'll be getting like 2 pieces of content, so you might get like a solo and a duo, or duo and alert, an alert and a raid, or something like that. But that's what it'd be every month, and then that'll be, you'll get about six pieces every 3 months. So it's about 12 pieces, they're saying, is the relevant content that you'll be able to earn marks. So within that sort of band. So if you're at the highest, it'll be the latest 12 pieces. If you're at the lowest, it'll be the first 12. And if you're somewhere in the middle, it's that tier, and it might be overlapping a little bit. It all just depends on where your band is. But hopefully in the where you can queue up and stuff, it'll be nicely laid out so that you can actually see that you'll be earning marks or not earning marks. Because going backwards, you can't earn marks anymore on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 stuff, and all that and so on. If you're at the end of the other end of the combat rating, sorry, you can't earn anything from the lower stuff. So yeah, so the marks are all changing over like for like. So marks of fury, if you've got, say for instance, like I've got there 81, you'll get 81 marks of victory. If you've got marks of triumph as well, those are getting switched over depending on your combat rating. So there's going to be, for the highest, like over 100 combat rating, you get 1 mark of victory for every 1,565 marks of triumph. If your combat rating between 84 and 99, it's 625, and they get converted into 1 mark of victory. 70 to 83 is 125 marks into 1. 53 to 69 is 25 marks into 1. 43 to 52 is 5 into 1. And combat rating 0 to 42 is 1 mark of triumph into 1 mark of victory. And those kind of changes are happening with the vendor as well. So tier 1 and tier 2 vendor stuff is a little bit lower, but tier 3 up to the end is like it is with the stuff that you buy with the marks of fury right now. So it's kind of like 60 marks, I think, as far as I remember, 60 marks of fury for like the chest piece, and 70 marks of fury for the weapon. Yeah, so normally it's like 60 marks and then the symbols, but obviously the symbols are disappearing completely, so you won't use them anymore. And things like weapons are 70 and stuff. So that's what it'll be like for all the other tiers as well, like tier 3 up, unless they change that as well. But the tier 1, tier 2 is slightly lower, and the rest is like it is for the end game stuff. And the reason they don't need the symbols anymore is because you'll need to get within the combat rating bands to be able to buy this stuff. So you won't be able to skip. So if you're in tier 5 stuff, you can't mod it to try and get past tier 5 into tier 7 or anything like that. You'd have to go through the tiers buying all the stuff now, because mods don't affect your combat rating. So it's only items that you can get, and there's obviously no walk-in stuff that you can do anymore and things like that, where you can walk in if you're under the combat rating and things like that. So you can't walk people through stuff to skip stuff. So this will help, slow down people that are new, instead of going straight to the end of the game so quickly. There's still lots of content for them to do anyway, and it should still be really fast for them, because there's a lot of content in the first 3 tiers at least, and then after that there's still quite a bit if you've got all the DLCs, but you need quite a lot of the DLCs really for tier 4, because there's not a lot of like solos and stuff. But yeah, so I mean that's those kind of things. They're changing so that it's all like one mark now, so it doesn't get too confusing. And you'll still get 1 mark of victory from the vault, and you'll still get a mark of victory in your lockboxes as well. So at least you'll be getting those kind of things. The mainframes are changing as well, so the first 2 rows are pretty much the same as how they work now. You buy them and then they're unlocked for good, but instead of there being 3 boost rows, there's just 1, so everything's all in that 1 boost row now, and those will cost 7 marks each to maintain. So and they're changing how long it lasts as well, so they last for 60 days instead of 30 days, and they cost 7 marks of victory for each one of those. So if you unlock all of the different ones, the sidekick, the orbital strike, the tactical mods, all of them, if you unlock all 5 of them, then it will cost you 7 for each one that you unlock, and but that lasts for 60 days. Also your utility belt as well, the 3rd and 4th slot, those will be costing 5 marks as well for each one of those slots, marks of victory, 5 marks of those. And all the other sort of things that you could normally buy, like not that you're going to want to if you're at the end of the game, and I don't think you're going to want to anyway, because you can get them, they'll drop in the thing, but you know, plans and stuff, all these kind of things, they will all cost 25 marks of victory, which is quite a lot considering your cap is going to be 100. So you can only have 100 max, and when you get onto the live server, once this goes, everything will be in one, will be transferred over in one go. So if you're going to lose any marks, if you've got loads of marks and you're worried about losing them, I'd buy some things right now. If you're like me and you use these like consumables that you can make, I use these ones just for like the stun. I don't bother with the higher ones, because at the moment they cost quite a lot of marks and things to buy. They do exactly the same as the higher ones. I've tested them out and stuff. It's just that you get more damage from the higher planned ones, like the 5, 6s and all that sort of thing. They'll do more damage, but you still get the same like stun and everything, and it still lasts the same. There's no difference in that between the different tiered ones. So I just use the 2s, and that's all you really need, and then it's easier to make them, it's cheaper, like less marks and stuff. But going forward, they're also changing. If it stays the same as what it is on test server right now, all of these catalysts all cost 1 mark of victory each, and bearing in mind you can only have 100 marks at a time, and you'll be using those to buy your gear, using those to maintain your mainframe at 7 marks each, and your utility belt. There's not going to probably be any marks left over for these things. So if I was you, I'd buy them now if you use them, and if you're someone who's got a lot of marks and you're worried about losing them when they change it over, buy loads anyway, even if you don't use them, and then sell them on the broker once this goes live, because there's going to be probably a lot of people who do use these that will still be wanting them, but won't really want to be buying them with marks of victory. Not for 1 mark for every just one of these. If it was 1 mark and you got a whole stack, then that'd be alright, but not for 1. But that's it, guys. That's the majority of the stuff that's on there. There's a few other bits, but I'll leave links in the comments below, in the description below, sorry, so that you can check it out for yourselves. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.